everybody. Tonight we have an exciting program for you. This is Kirk DeMars with One Nation and SLM Extra. I'm ready to go with this one. This is a very energetic and a very influential person in our community and throughout mid Missouri. So we're excited. I'm going to go ahead and bring on my co-host all the way from snowy Montrose, Colorado, Jay Gill. Jay, what's going on in the snowy blizzard there?
Oh, it is just snowing, cats and dogs outside. Big old. I mean, you should see the snow falling. It's like a full snowball falling out of the sky. You can just catch it and launch it right at your son's face. It's great.
Okay, good. Well, we're supposed to get some, so you just try to keep the bulk of it there, and we'll just take a little bit, okay? Just a dusting. That's all I want.
Well, with your driveway, that's all I would want too. That thing is a monster to shovel.
Absolutely. Hey, we got a good program tonight. I'm excited about having Mayor Tergin on with us, and she does so much for our community. And why don't you go ahead and do your intro, and then we'll go into our first sponsor.
No, that sounds wonderful. As Kirk said, we've got Mayor Carrie Tergin here tonight, and we are just super excited to have her on the show. It's interesting. I'm from Jefferson City, born and raised, and I don't think I ever a time in my life where I knew who the mayor was. It kind of wasn't a thing. Maybe I was really young, but I'm 31 now, so just so you know, I'm not a little kid, but I never really knew who the mayor was. There was no, like, even when I was 18, 20, that just kind of wasn't a thing. And so all of a sudden, Mayor Carrie Turgeon is here, and she's using the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and she's connecting with people. And she's been involved in so much. I'll just list off a couple of things through her career. But she's been on the Downtown Jefferson City Board. She's part of the Recycling Committee Chairperson, Chamber of Commerce, UMB Bank Advisory Board, Cole County Partners for Clean Air. That's important. And a really fun one I read was the Show Me Yoga Foundation Board. She was also a part of that. So throughout her career, she's always just put herself out there. She's been a part of the community, and that really paid off. So as far as her political career goes, she was the 4th Ward City Councilwoman from 2008 until 2014. And then in April of 2015, she was elected mayor. And she did that with only 41% of the popular vote. So with 41%, she had the majority, and she was elected mayor. I like to bring that up because when she was reelected in 2019, she got 84% of the vote. Jeff City absolutely loves her. And it's like, even like my generation, I know who the mayor is. It's kind of a cool thing. Like, oh yeah, I know the mayor. Of course, that's Carrie. So not only has she been a staple of the community, she's really helped the community in tremendous ways. As you guys know, in 2019, we had that tornado that hit in Jefferson City. It was an EF3, a lot of damage. One thing, Mayor Carrie Turgeon got a ton of national recognition and praise for how she handled that before the tornado, emergency evacuations in place. And then after it happened, being very adamant about how they're going to help the community, how we're going to help rebuild. And she was a part of that the entire way. And we're definitely going to bring that up and talk with her about that during the interview. But this woman, she loves Jeff City, and she's poured her heart into the community. And I'm just here to tell you, we know she did it, and that's why she got so many votes in 2019. It's just a testament to how cool she is. So that's who we're bringing on tonight, Mayor Carrie Turgeon, and we're super excited.
Yeah, well, man, you did bring the smoke and the fireworks. That was good.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm excited. My blood's boiling. I'm ready to move. It got me all pumped up.
Well, we're going to get going with that, but first we're going to do a quick promo from my friend Delton Rissler out at Diesel Power Plus, and he's got something to share with us here real quick.
Delton Rissler here with Diesel Power Plus and Edge Graphics in California, Missouri. We're positioned in the Crossroads Shopping Plaza. We're located on the Highway 1587 on the Crossroads. And I just wanted to announce we have a truck meet or truck show coming April 17th. Me and my brother are both in the same building. He has a chrome shop. It's going to be a big event, and for those that want to get out and do something April 17th, I encourage you to come down. It's going to be a family event. We're going to have things for the children to do. We're going to have bounce houses. There will be food on the premises. It's going to be an all-day event. It's Delton Rissler with Diesel Power Plus and Edge Graphics. Come see us April 17th at the Crossroads Shopping Plaza.
Delton's pretty excited about that event. That's going to be a huge event that they're going to have there in California. So we're excited about just being a part of that with them too. Hey, let's go ahead and get to the exciting part about tonight. Let's go ahead and bring on Mayor Tergin. Are you ready, Jay?
I'm absolutely ready.
Go. Here we go. Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited too.
Yeah. Didn't he do a good introduction?
Wow, I was really impressed. Thank you. I'm very humbled by hearing all of that very much. And the video was incredible. I enjoyed watching it. And honestly, it made me remember just how much fun city government really is. So that was fantastic.
Well, that's been the thing that I've really enjoyed watching as far as your leadership in this community is that you are connecting with people and you're having fun doing it. And that's what we're supposed to do have fun in this life. So kudos to you.
I agree completely. Thank you very much.
Jay, why don't you get started?
Yeah, so I kind of want to know, how did you get started in your political leadership? I know you got elected to the city councilwoman in 2008. What made you want to go do that? Like, what drove that for you?
Interestingly, I was asked to run, and at the time I said, "Oh, I don't think I'll run for office." That's something that I knew nothing about. I was a small business owner. I grew up in the family business, Carrie's Hallmark shop in downtown Jefferson City. And being a business owner, though, I was always at the forefront of other organizations and leading through other business groups. And like you mentioned, the Downtown Association. So taking on those leadership roles, it was interesting because others saw leadership in me that even I didn't know and I didn't see myself. So other people saw that and encouraged me to run for office. So I ran for city council and really in that. And in fact, what's very interesting how I became from councilwoman to mayor was I ran for 3 terms as a councilwoman. And on my last term, I actually lost that race. And at the time, I look back and I was kind of spinning my wheels and wasn't accomplishing what I really see happen in growth potential in Jefferson City. And I felt like there was so much we could do here. And I ended up losing that election. So I could have at the time said, well, I guess Jefferson City is done with me. I guess this is it. And I'll just go back and go back to my store and focus on that. And instead, the night that election, people came up to me and said, oh, good, now you can run for mayor. And I thought, wow, it was interesting the support that came so quickly. And so within 1 year of that loss, I won that race that you mentioned with 41%. And the reason it was 41 is there were 6 people in that race, and it was very interesting. So to come back, and how I did it was I formed a team of support that also shared that same vision of growth in Jefferson City, that wanted to see things happen. It was exciting. So in 2015, when I was elected, I share that story a lot because what seemed like a loss really getting me prepared for what was a big win and preparing me to be the second woman elected as mayor of the capital city. But I just want to make Jefferson City better, and that's really what motivated me to run for mayor.
Very good. Very good. Well, you've done a fantastic job, and I know that there's still a lot of work to do. Obviously, there's been a few challenges that we've had over these last few years, and we're going to come out stronger on the other side of that. We'll get into that a little bit. Real quick, I just wanted to put up here that Jay's mom is watching from Arizona. She said, hi, guys. So there you go, Jay. There's your mom.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, that's awesome. Hi.
And then also Emily Wilkerson, our social media person. She is excited that Carrie Turpin is joining us tonight. So Emily does a great job, and We just appreciate her. So thanks, Emily. All right.
Thank you, Emily.
Wanted to talk real quick about things that prepare you for what you're doing today. Obviously, is your education. Tell us a little bit about where you attended high school, any extracurricular activities you were involved in, and then go into higher education.
Sure. Well, I'm a J Bird, J Pride all the way. So Jefferson City J here for high school and loved it, class of 90. And then went on to Missouri State University, which was Southwest State at the time, and went there for a business degree. And of course, knowing I would always come back and run the Hallmark store here on High Street, I knew I would come back to Carrie's Hallmark family business. But being in college really prepared me even more, even though I knew what my career path was meant to be. I still appreciate the time I spent in college and really enjoyed Missouri State so much, and was very fortunate to have that college experience, and joined a sorority, and that also really prepared me. So some of those extracurricular activities really are where leadership starts, and I was very fortunate. Interestingly, looking back, some of the hardest things in high school and college were taking speech class, like learning, getting out in front of crowds and having to give a speech was very intimidating for me. And now it's something I do all the time, but just learning to kind of conquer some of those fears and just be calm and take a deep breath and just work through it. And but really, those were things that really have prepared me, but scared me at the time. So, take those challenges on. And also, my always been art. So I took art classes in high school and college. And I think that it's important to kind of balance what you do for your career with whether it's art or music or whatever just makes you happy, to have that balance. And for me, I've been very fortunate that it's art. I love to paint and draw and do all of that.
Yeah, and before I go on to having Jay ask the next question, you have actually done quite a few pieces of art and you've had them up for auction to benefit different charities and different things like that. So you're still actively involved in doing that.
Yes, and that's my favorite thing, is to make an original artwork and think about what it can benefit for different charities. And Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe bought one of my original paintings years ago at a charity auction, and he has it hanging in the Missouri State Capitol. So next time you're in Lieutenant Governor Kehoe's office, and it was well before I ever elected to that seat, he was still very giving and purchased my painting. And I love painting for these different charities and being able to give back.
Yeah, very good. Jay, go ahead.
So one thing I didn't mention in my introduction is you've been serving on the Missouri State University of Governors since 2017, and you were even the vice president. What's been some responsibilities there? How has that tenure impacted the students and the university?
I've loved serving this position on the Missouri State Board of Governors and never would have dreamed I would be able to do that. But we are the governing board, and really what motivated me when I was asked to join that board was that I wanted others to have the wonderful experience at the university that I did. And so being able to serve in that capacity and see the direct impact on students and how important it is. And for some students, it may be going to a 4-year university. For others, it could be a 2-year. And for others, it may just be other experience in the workplace or education. But for so many, going to a university is very beneficial, learning about life and being career ready. And it was wonderful to serve in that committee. And serving as a board chair, which I was fortunate enough to serve as for a while on the board. And in the year that I served, when I was their chair, who was a woman, and I was the vice chair as a woman, and it was the first time that there was 2 women leading the board of governors in the history of the university. And so that was very exciting to see us in those positions, because people could look and say, look at these women in leadership. I know, Jay, when you mentioned like just knowing who the mayor is, I love being in the grocery store before the pandemic, when I was at the grocery store more often, but when people would come up to me, mothers with their little girls, and they would say, that's the mayor. Girls can be the mayor. You can grow up and do whatever you want to do. So, but being in that university board position and leading and kind of making history, being two women to lead that board was very humbling and exciting to kind of pay and lead the path. And in fact, currently we have two women that are leading the board, which is also extremely exciting. So very fortunate to have that position. Love Missouri State. Go Bears. I've even got my maroon on today.
Well, and again, I know you're a huge proponent of Missouri State, but you are also a very good advocate for higher education here in mid-Missouri. I know you're actively involved with University and possibly some of the other universities we have around, like Westminster and William Woods. I mean, they're part of the magazine. Just tell us a little bit about the importance of having those type of choices here in mid-Missouri.
Absolutely. We are so lucky here. And of course, having Lincoln University, the very first meeting that I ever presided as mayor, I still remember saying that we should all think of Lincoln University as our hometown university. Wherever we went, we should all be enthusiastic for Lincoln and support the Blue Tigers. And it's amazing to see what's happening there and what an asset Lincoln is. And in fact, the experience from Missouri State Board, we had a student liaison, a student member. So we were able to take what I learned from that board and bring it to our city council. So we actually have a student liaison to our city council from Lincoln University. So we've had 3 of them now, and I think valuable to bring the students directly onto our council to have that connection with Lincoln. And like you mentioned, all of our other wonderful universities here, even places like State Tech, which is nationally renowned, having that here, having those options for education right here in Central Missouri is very fortunate for here.
Well, I'm going to put this up here. Jay's mom just said Carrie Turgeon for president. There you go.
Amen.
Wow.
Woo!
I don't
Well,
know if
thank
that's
you.
influence, but for sure you've got a vote there for sure. She's out.
Fantastic. Thank you.
That's great. Very good. Very good. Jay, go ahead and go with your next one.
You know, it really is just awe-inspiring. I love getting to listen to you talk and just a short little ramble. I mean, Kirk, you know, he only had one daughter. I ended up marrying her. I've got a daughter, and so I love when I want to, you know, it's that as a father to a girl, you want them to find something inspired by, and you want them to know that they're not held back by anything. Go do what you want to do. And so to have someone like you, I think it's just awesome. Someone that you know, she can read about, learn about, and look up to. So thank you. It's just very cool. So sorry
Well,
for my
thank
little
you.
tangent, but
And I know since you're off script, and I want to get off script too with that, because a lot of times when I'll welcome groups, and when I say mayor, people sometimes will stop me and they'll say, "Wait, you're the mayor?" And they're so puzzled, and they say, "But you're a woman, and you're a young, energetic woman, and you're the mayor." And I love that reaction. I love when I get that, because it gives me an opportunity to say, yes, it's okay to be a young, energetic, excited about the city, and find that enthusiasm for it, and be a woman and do that, and be the most you can do anything you set your mind to, no matter what, as long as you work hard and have that goal and vision in mind. And I know that after I spoke with a group of high school students once, and I explained that story and how people are sometimes surprised, like mayor, and she came up to me, a gal did afterwards, a student, and she said, "I'm glad you said that," because she said she wanted to be a welder. That was her dream. And she said people look at her funny whenever she says that. And she said after hearing that, it made her more comfortable. Like, even though she was kind of in a non-traditional field, that's okay. And that whatever background we have, whatever diverse background we may have come from, that's okay. And that we bring, you know, our diversity is what really brings out the best in all of us and in our communities. And so I think that's such a great thing.
Yeah, that is great. Jay, before you do go on your question, I'm going to go ahead and have our next sponsor go ahead and do a quick announcement for us. Come right back, and then you jump right into your question. So this is our sponsor, CNS Business Services. And I mean, I want you to hear from Paula. They just do such a great job over there. So here's her announcement.
Hi, I'm Paula Benny with CNS Business Services. It has been our privilege at CNS to serve our clients and job seekers throughout this most challenging year. We continue to have a wide variety of job opportunities for anyone seeking employment, whether it is full-time, part-time, permanent, in a wide variety of fields. I encourage you to visit our website for details on all our current positions and apply online or contact CNS with questions. And on behalf of the entire staff at CNS Business Services, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Again, they're just a great business here in Jefferson City in mid-Missouri, and they provide a big service for a wide range of people. I don't know what's happening with Jay. He's just like flying all over the place.
Sorry,
Okay.
my cat jumped up and hit my tripod.
That's great. You know, there's just some things you just can't, can't prepare for in the program. That's great. Why don't you
Silly cats.
hop in and go ahead and ask your question?
So one thing I briefly talked about in the introduction was the tornado that came through and swept into Jefferson City and just did a tremendous amount of damage. You did get a lot of national recognition and praise for how well the city handled it in Jeff City itself. And so I'm just kind of curious, like, this going into it, you find out the tornado's coming. Do you have a team of people talking with you saying these are ideas? I'm just kind of curious how it all transpired and, the rebuilding process after that.
Well, first of all, whenever you hear those sirens go off, you need to take cover. And we learned that here in Jefferson City because everybody thought Jefferson City, we don't get tornadoes because we have the river and the valleys. And so we don't get tornadoes. So I will tell you, hearing Paul on the air, our weathercaster who was very much forecasting this and warning people, and just every warning that was out there, everybody who was forecasting and telling people what to do, how important it is to take cover and have an emergency plan and practice it. Cannot say that enough. So we were very fortunate. And then our police and fire and all of our public safety agencies sprung into action immediately, rescuing and helping people. We were very fortunate that we didn't have any casualties here in Jefferson City. And I think the reason is people heeded the warnings. I can't stress that enough, how important that is. And then we had other agencies from all around mid-Missouri that came to our aid instantly. And so we were very, very fortunate. And as we worked through the rebuilding, we realized in an instant just how thankful we were, not for things, but for people. I mean, who cares about houses and cars, because all of that can be replaced. And what really matters is our friends and family. So just instantly we realized what our priorities are, what really matters in life, and that through that, strangers were helping strangers, and nothing else mattered. Politics didn't matter, background, nothing. All that mattered was helping each other get through this tornado. We became a very strong community. So I would never wish that community, but I will say that what we've been through has made us extremely strong and resilient city. And I'm just so impressed and continue to be as we continue to see the rebuilding process.
Yeah. It was quite an ordeal. And we had last year had quite a bit of other stuff that's been quite a bit of ordeal. But we're not going to talk about the pandemic tonight. We're just going to leave that alone. And I want to ask you, what are you looking forward to in 2021?
We have a lot of excitement happening in Jefferson City. There's some big projects that we're working on, redevelopment of the historic penitentiary site that's been vacant for many years, that's very, very old and historic and a major tourist attraction, but it also happens to sit on our Missouri River. So we have potential to build, we have a developer to build some, housing and hotel and conference space and ice arena to expand or, relocate our ice arena. So there's so many exciting things on the horizon for that space. I know, as you're aware, we've had the concert inside the walls there. Of course, then the tornado hit the prison directly. So we had to kind of regroup, but we would love to see that come back as a future permanent venue because we know that it has a lot of character and history, and we can take what was a dark history from the past, learn from it, and then also turn it into a site that can be utilized for the future. And along with that too, at our state capitol this year we're working on the Bicentennial Bridge. We know this is the bicentennial year for the state of Missouri. So you can go to Missouri 2021 and learn all about what we're doing to celebrate past and future. But this Bicentennial Bridge at the Capitol will be built to walk or bike to our riverfront. And we have like 30 acres of an amazing park on our riverfront, and we can't get to it because we're separated by all those railroad tracks. So this is our year, something that literally been worked on for 50 years. I didn't say 15, I said 50 years in Jefferson City. And we are finally at the year that we are going to see this built for the bicentennial. If you go to bicentennialbridge.org, you can see a video of what I'm talking about. And I am just most excited to see these things that I just mentioned that have really been in the works for generations. And we've worked hard as a city to have this vision, and we are going to see it come to fruition this year. So very, very excited about that. That despite the pandemic, despite a tornado running right through that site, despite all these challenges, we kept motivated and worked together as a team, and it's going to happen.
Absolutely. Well, again, you've done a great job with that. Matt Kuyat is on here, and he said Jefferson is a great place to live, and he also said he can't wait to see the site. So we're all looking forward to that. Good. Jay,
Thanks, I agree. Thank you.
Jay, go ahead with your next question.
Well, we wouldn't be a sports show if we didn't talk a little bit about sports. Jeff City had quite a year in the sports realm. We had a first. We had JC and Helias play each other this year in football. We also had several state championships. We had 2 football state championships. We had the 3rd place finish for Jays in soccer. We also had that championship at Southern Boone. How exciting has that been for you? Because you're definitely a part of the sports community as well. You're there cheering the schools on. And again, that young generation, they love to see the mayor and hang out with people. How exciting has this year been?
This has been wonderful for sports in Jefferson City. I'm so proud of all of these teams, and having Jays and Helias play each other for the first time. It was very historic. And when I showed up, even though I'm a Jaybird, I had a kind of a half and half. So I had the jersey sewn together right in the middle so that I could support both teams. And it was cool because I felt like it was like we were all winners, like no matter how the game turned out, but very proud of Helias. And then they went on to win state. So how cool is that? And just seeing all our local teams that have done so well and getting their time in the spotlight, and took several precautions, and that's how they were able to do this. They worked together, they were accountable to each other, they had their plan, and they were able to maneuver all of these crazy challenges that we faced this year. And despite that, not only face the challenges, but actually excel and become state championships. So I think that we can all use their, especially at a time like this, and see how they did it, how they worked together. And I love Sports Locker magazine. I love seeing all the different athletes that are highlighted and what's going on in the sports world in mid-Missouri. And as a mayor, I think that's something that really does unite us and bring us together. We can all get excited about sports. So I love having an opportunity to write an article for the issues, because it's fun to think about how sports often relates to everything that we do. Oh, there it is even. Oh yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love how we can highlight all of the great things happening in our community through Sports Locker magazine.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I want to talk about is that what is your motivation? What's the thing that you want to communicate to people when you're writing your article?
I always like to show that there is so much good that happens. And, a lot of times in the political world and in politics, we may feel from a distance, it's far away, like we can't connect with our leaders. And that is just not at all true. Like we can absolutely connect with each other, and to be able to share in a venue like the magazine is wonderful, because there's so much good that happens, and having an opportunity to share those good stories, because there's so many of them. And sometimes it's easy to focus on challenges and problems, but so many ways that those challenges have turned around to make our community what it is. So I've loved writing about those stories in Sports Locker magazine, and I have people who read the stories and then talk to me. So we have that open and two-way dialogue with them, which is great. And then being out on social media and being able to share that so that it reaches a wide audience, because government should be open. I mean, government is not just about what happens inside City Hall and the council chambers. That's extremely important, but it's also about what happens every day in our community, and being able to share that as much as I can is what is really important.
Yeah, it is very important. And again, people need to have message the good news because we get so much of the other stuff. It's important for people to have those uplifting messages and have hope. And we did talk about these different championships, and it was unlike anything that a lot of us have seen in a long time. And one that I've wanted to mention was Calvary Lutheran. They had their first ever state championship, and they got it in cross country, boys cross country. So we had a lot of exciting things happen this fall. And in the midst of the pandemic and all that, there was some good news that was brought out. There was light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of these student athletes. So that was exciting. Carrie, I want to finish up with we've run out of time. It's unbelievable how quick this goes, isn't it, Jay?
It goes quick.
Really fast. I just want to let you just share one last comment or anything that you want to say, and then Jay and I will close the program and have you hold on afterwards to visit with you real quick. But go ahead and make your final comment.
Well, just appreciate this. I'm so fortunate to be mayor of such a wonderful city. And as long as we all keep working together, we'll continue to get through this. And we're an amazing team. And that's what I love about the whole sports of what we're talking about is just that we really are a team. And that's how we are successful and continue to help each other out like any team would. So keep on doing what you're doing, and everybody stay healthy, and looking forward to this coming year. It's going to be a great year. So thank you again for having me.
Oh, we absolutely enjoyed having you on here, and we'll look forward to having you on again another time. But we run out of time, and if you'll hold on, we'll talk to you right afterwards. But Jay always has to have the final word. He has the final page in the magazine, and he has to have the final. So we'll go to that. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you.
Jay, here you go. Your final word.
Well, One Nation, Sports Locker Nation, thank you for watching One Nation. I am just so happy with how that interview went. Kind of with my mom at this point. Carrie just needs to keep going to the top, run all the way, because she is just a fantastic person. The joy that she brings. I love that she says she's making politics fun, and it shows. That's why I believe she got so much support the last time she ran. It's just a blessing to have right there in mid-Missouri. So Carrie, you've been bright spot, and you have definitely been a light and a salt. So thank you so much for that. One Nation, Sports Locker Nation, thank you for watching One Nation and SLM Extra. I can't wait to talk to you again next week. Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless you, and Happy New Year.